and welcome to the Gussets and Go Days podcast, episode number 4. My name is Christina and this is my podcast about knitting, stitching and all of my other crafting endeavours. So I hope you enjoy your Christmas season so far. Thank you for joining me. I'd like to show you what I've been working on this December so far. So I'm going to jump right in with my knitting. So I have finally finished my Slytherin scarf, which is a gift, which I love. So I knit it in the round and knit it with 64 stitches, and then I blocked it flat and used the tassels to stitch the two sides together or join them together, so it's now one. And I bought this iron-on badge on Etsy. Didn't iron it on, I ironed it to some felt and then cut round about 1/8 of an inch and then stitched the felt to the scarf. I really love it. I didn't know how long, so he's 8. Daniel is 8, this is his Christmas present. So I made it past my hips, just above my knees with the tassels. I didn't want to make a really short children's scarf that he couldn't use later on, and he's growing so quickly, so I wanted it to last. I have blocked it, although I blocked the body. Oh, it's so lovely. I'm really happy with how it's blocked. It's really soft and snuggly. I machine washed this actually because he will, because he's little, I'm sure he'll make it dirty, so Mummy will machine wash it for him, and I think that will be fine. So I wanted to put it in the machine, and then I stitched this on after, so that hasn't gone through the machine, but I'm sure that's fine. Do you block the tassels? I didn't block them. Let me know if I should block these tassels. I had to do tassels. How fabulous are those tassels? Anyway, so I cast on 64 stitches. Can't remember the needle size I used actually. 4 or 5mm. I'll put it down below. And the yarn that I used was the Merino Blend DK in the Bottle and the Graphite. Those are the two colours. Yeah, you can see that. And, you know, after all the panicking to get this finished, I also had to make a hat. I mean, I didn't need to make the hat. But how can you give a scarf without a hat? You need the matching set. How lovely is that hat? Oh, it's so cute. So the name of the pattern, wait, I've got it here. So it's the Striped Basic Hat and Mittens pattern by Patrons. I held 2 strands of the DK together. So I held the yarn double, and it's meant to be striped, and I intended to make the hat striped, but then I wasn't sure whether he'd wear the hat like this or with the brim up. I wasn't sure how big his head was. I got Mummy to measure it for me, so I knew how wide it was, but the depth of the head I wasn't sure. And actually children have really bigger heads than I was anticipating they would. When I read the, you know, I read a couple of patterns, free ones on Ravelry, and the number of stitches and the measurement for the children's hats weren't that different from the grown-ups. Anyway, doesn't matter. And you can't really see the decreases in the crown. I thought that you'd really see a pronounced ridge. Can't really. I don't think you see anything. And then you have a couple of stitches on the end and you pull them through. So that's worked really well. I didn't do the stripes. I just thought rib and then hat. So you can wear it like this. He can turn up just a little bit of the rib or go all out and turn it up totally. I guess depends on how cold it is and if he wants his ears covered. I'm not going to put it on, but it does fit me just like stretched out. and a bit of a skull cap. But if I turn it down, it fits me better. So I think this should be fine. So it's a wizarding Christmas for him. So he's got his hat and scarf collection. Let's just show it that way. I think that's a really, really sweet gift. I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. Really, really. So I don't want to give them away actually. I'm the most selfish crafter. I don't give away the things that I knit. I keep them for me. I knit for myself. So if I make you something, it means I really, really like you a lot. So I really like him. I really love him a lot. The other project I've been working on this December is my Advent socks, which I've not done super well with. Okay, so they toe up and Pixelrized by Kemper Wray. They are so gorgeous. The yarn is the Norah George Advent Calendar yarn, which I'll show you what I've got so far. So here's a bowl of it. Ooh, hello. Fantastic. As you can see, there are a good few that aren't even pulled up yet. It's because I haven't put them in. And also I've only done one sock and I need a second one. But anyway, the scarf had the priority. This was just the fun knit. First time I've ever done toe up, I did the Turkish cast on, which was super fun, super cool. I had to do it 3 times to get it right, but it's a little bit pointy here, but I don't mind. And I've just done the toe in one colour, the heel I did in the same as one of the stripes. They are a fraction too long, like the tiniest fraction. But that's because I was worried about putting a heel in the middle of colour work, so I waited until I got to one of the plain stripes to put it in, the one of the plain rounds with all one colour. And my tension is definitely a bit tighter on the colour work than the heel and toe. But I really enjoyed them. I've just knitted it in the random order that I pulled out the Advent Calendar yarn. Yeah, I didn't change. I don't think I've changed any. If there were 2 creamy colours together, I would change it. I wouldn't put it in, but so far, so good. And there's my Pompom from my So Sweet Violet calendar, Advent calendar. It's been my, actually might be my, this is my favourite Christmas present so far. Ding ding. Anyway. I did the 72 stitches and it's the right size, definitely. It's the right size, very snug, which they should be. And I'm knitting them on hiya sharps 2.25 millimeters in the 80 centimeter cable. And that has been my handbag knitting. And I've not really done much considering how far into December we are. But it's because you have to concentrate, and usually I carry a vanilla sock and I just go round and round and round. And that doesn't require any concentration, but anyway. Just got that in a little sock bag. I just make these little drawstring bags for myself sometimes if I have some scraps of fabric, or if I get a fat quarter of fabric that I like, which I wouldn't necessarily wear, although I would wear that one. Some of them that I buy I wouldn't wear. But they're nice. I like the fabric, so I'd still make it in a bag. I don't have a pattern for that. It's just self-drafted, and I just whack them up quickly. Anyway, I have been working on a sewing project for the last week and a bit. It is this one. It's the Butterick B6423, Gertie's pattern. I love Gertie. That's Gertie. She's the pattern designer. So I wanted this, but with a fishtail just stuck on the bottom, which was a circle, a full circle. And then I wanted to close this gap So this waist panel I straightened, so there's no notch in it. I didn't add the bow tie in the middle. I just pleated it and stitched it all together. That's really not a good description, but when I made this dress before, I made it with the peephole and I made it with the tie, and it was just too booby. It doesn't look booby on her because she's very slim and she's, you know, not very busty. So everything, you know, you can't see anything. All enclosed. Wasn't like when that was a wasn't like that when I made it. So I thought a bit more coverage might be nice. So I made it in time. The day of it was finished. So here's what I'm talking about, the front. So the peep hole would have been here, and then this would have been even tighter gathered, so I just pleated it. And gosh, it's really blowing the camera out, but fit really nicely. It's off the shoulder, fitted in the waist, the pencil skirt, which looks huge, and then I stitched a full circle on the bottom. I will not insert pictures here, I will insert them at the end, because the last time I tried to do it, my mouth was moving and I was talking, but they weren't correlating, so technical difficulties. You can see the pictures of me wearing this dress at the end of the podcast. I wore it to the work Christmas ball at the Grosvenor House Hotel. It was a masquerade ball and it was stunningly beautiful and everyone looked amazing, and loads of the girls in my department all made their dresses and I was so proud of them. We had a bit of a red and black theme going on in our department, and we really showed everybody our skills, which was, you know, what we wanted to do. We wanted to show that we don't just do alterations, we are a talented bunch of individuals. So yeah, we showed off a little bit, but I'm happy we did. It worked out really well, and yeah, I do look a little bit in the dress like Miss Scarlet from Cluedo. I didn't intend on dressing up as a character from a board game, but I did. So I look like Miss Scarlet in the library with the revolver. I have this like a fabulous hat with this veil on. So enjoy the little few pictures at the end. And yeah, that's my sewing for this week. And ooh, yeah, that took a lot of time doing that dress, a lot longer than I thought, because I'd made it before. I thought, oh, it'll be so easy. That was stressful. I really had to hurry, get a wiggle on with that one, but I did it in the end, and I even had time to do a couple of alterations on it because it wasn't spot on. It needed a little bit of taking in here and there, so I had time for that. So last week, in my Christmas episode, I showed you this magazine, which I have now had the chance to read properly. I know I have encouraged a few cheeky purchases of the magazine. Totally happy with that. Buy the magazine. It's Christmas. Now, when I watched, who did I watch? I watched Ellie Skeyndir, and at some point she knitted these mittens. And on Ravelry, it was only available in Norwegian. I think Norwegian. Well, I don't speak Norwegian. I don't speak any other language except English, and sometimes, you know, not even that so well. So I think they've renamed them actually. They had a very difficultly pronounceable name, which I'm not going to read. I will write it down in the comments. But they call it the Cozy Classic Mittens, and they're in this magazine. Yay! I was so disappointed when I watched her episode and then I couldn't get the pattern. Which actually, now that I've made one of her mittens, I could just substitute the chart. So I probably could have done it. And there's not really that much of a description in this magazine as to how to do it. Anyway, so you've got the chart in there, and it does only come with one side. So I think a photocopier can flip. Can a photocopier flip? I'll take it to work and see if we can flip it. Someone will help me out, I'm sure. Anyway, I was just super excited to find that pattern in there. And if you like Christmassy things and you have, I mean, loads of people watch Illy and loads of people are not Norwegian. So yeah, it's in that magazine. Woohoo! Fabulous. Now, ooh, I got something in the post which I'm so excited about. So I ordered these two skeins, which are Christmas colourways from HerbstblattRegina. We've got the Vintage Ornament collection, which is just me. I mean, it's like my Christmas tree with the turquoise bottom and then the pinks and purplies. So gorgeous. And I think I might use this one for my Christmas Eve cast on. Although I did want to do Danny's new sock pattern, but you can't really do that with speckly. I need a plain yarn for that. So maybe I'll buy that pattern and do that one next year. But anyway, beautiful. And I know you can't see sparkle on the screen, but it's so sparkly. And so's this one. Sparkly Christmas speckles. They're both gold speckles. Oh, that one, maybe you can see the sparkle. Anyway, that's more of a classic Christmas colourway. Christmas speckles. It's more of yeah. It's like a proper Christmas. You know, like a Christmas card Christmas. This one is the more kind of 1950s atomic Christmas, so I love them both. What's the base called? Gold sock fingering. Haven't knit them up, but they feel lovely. A little bit finer, I think, than her hazel soft sock, which I usually knit up, but no worries. And she was so kind, and she sent me something for a giveaway. A giveaway! Gosh, I'm very animated this episode. I don't know what's happened. She wrote me a lovely little note. So this beautiful skein is the hazel soft sock, my favourite. So squidgy. Lovely. This is called the Don't Call Me Honey. So I don't quite know how I'm going to give this away. I thought I could ask a question and then you could put the answers down below. So I will think of a question. I'm currently working on a couple of little bits and bobs to go with it because, you know, the skein is gorgeous, but a collection of items is better just than one thing, I think. Oh, so beautiful. Don't call me honey. Thank you so much, Regina. I will call you honey. So that is coming up soon. Ooh. Another thing that I got this week is a scale. This is the Smart Weight scale and I got it on Amazon and it is super handy. It was not very expensive and it came with the did it come with the batteries? It came with the batteries. Very handy. Really easy to use. Digital. I don't know how I got away without a scale. So yeah, I got a couple of swap partners now. Thank you, swap partners. So now I can measure them out, weigh out my yarn, make sure that I'm sending enough for what they need. Swapping is really fun. A little bit stressful though. I want to make sure they get like a really lovely package. So I want to package it really nicely, put in a cheeky little gift. Yeah. I'm not really sure about swap etiquette though. If anyone has any swap advice for me, that would be greatly appreciated. I'm a bit of an overachiever. I tend to do too much, which sometimes can be offensive to people. Because then you outdo them, and that's not my intention. I just want to send someone something to make them really happy. And then if I send more than them, then they feel a bit bad. I mean, I don't feel bad. I'm so grateful, you know, that they've sent me something. But yes, swap etiquette. Maybe that's a thing, maybe it's not. If it's a thing, help, tell me about it. I'd love to know. Okay, and the last thing, I just want to share with you my So Sweet Violet advent calendar. So the cheeky little minx has created the most beautiful collection. So Sweet Violet, hi Jules. this is the Little Notions pouch, and I just wanted to show you, she's created just the most, so you get your project bag and a skein of yarn and a pouch, and then the other gifts are like lovely little things that go in your pouch, so then you end up with a full Notions pouch. But I wanted to share with you. How sweet are these progress keepers and stitch markers? And my stitch markers were really ugly before, and now it's like jewellery. Ooh. Anyway, I am so grateful. Sorry, it smells like I've got all these lavender pouches in there, so just wafts. Yeah, because I'm not hugely experienced knitter, I do have equipment that I use, but you know, matching scissors, matching stitch marker, how lovely. A little highlighter pen, some washi tape. I reckon by the time I finish my advent calendar, opening everything, I think I'm gonna have a bag just ready to go, just to put in any of my project bags. And then there's everything in there that I need. Oh, actually, one thing that I don't know if she made it or she bought it or... This rose, I mean, it wasn't labelled, so I think that I've been using it as a solid lotion bar. I never used a solid lotion bar. I mean, I hope that's what it is and I'm not rubbing a candy in my hands. Well, if it's candy, you can also use it as this. But no, I'm joking. This is what it is. It smells so good and it's so moisturising. Jules, did you make this? Did you? I need some more. I need to buy like a year's worth because it smells good and my hands are not dry at all. Like at all. I've got no edges that are rough. And now I'm rationing this little jar full of it. Note to self, ask Jules about the lotion bar. And it's rose. The whole collection is rose. I might be rubbing it into people who didn't get the advent calendar. And she didn't ask me to say anything about it, because she would never ask me to just tell you all how fabulous she is. But she's fabulous. Every single thing she put in this advent calendar, she's chosen with care and consideration and love. So just, you know, just still rubbing it in. Ooh. So I just wanted to kind of share with you how great she is, because oh my gosh, it's amazing. I absolutely love it. I did feel a bit guilty to buy 2 advent calendars, but it was the best decision. One for yarn, one for not so yarny things, although I did get a skein of yarn, which is a Norah George, and it's called Where Winter Roses Grow. How perfect. But I can't make socks out of it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I think this is just going to relax in the stash. Don't really have a stash. I have a tiny basket full of a few skeins and balls of yarn, which I haven't got round to using yet. And I thought people were ridiculous when they thought, oh, they're saving, it's so pretty. But it's lovely. And I didn't buy it for a project because I didn't know what it looked like. So I think maybe the project will come. It's like the wizard. The one chooses the wizard. The yarn chose the knitter. And the pattern will choose. The yarn will choose the pattern will choose the yarn. I don't know where I was going with that story. But it's so pretty. And Norah George, I love her yarn as well. Especially her Harry Potter colourways are fabulous. Anyway, gosh, I really rushed through everything today. Yes, because I didn't really have that much time. Just, you know, perusing the mess of a bed with just full of stuff. I've got most of my gift knitting done now. Most of it, you know, the hat and the scarf are done. So now I can do things for myself, which is more of what I do. Gosh, I finished quicker than I expected to. That's fine. I hope you enjoyed this little episode. Oh, to put that down. You can follow me on Ravelry or come say hello. I'm on Ravelry as Gussets and Go Days. I'm on Instagram as Gussets and Go Days. You can send me a message if you'd like to say hello. Or just check out some of my pictures on Instagram if you would like to see a little bit of me. Just doing what I do with some of my little outfitty things and some crafty stuff and, you know, a lot of hot chocolate. Anyway, I'm not sure when I will next podcast just because of the Christmas season. I would like to do a sock tour of my socks because I am taking part in the Box of Socks Cal and I have done a couple of pairs. I imagine my Advent socks will be the last one to go in. So that will be coming up soon, and thank you so much for watching, and the photos are coming up now, so see you soon.